morning and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lawnert.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
Joining us today is the leader of the Amarillo High Plains Food Bank, Zach Wilson, as we get ready to kick off the 2023 Together We Can holiday food drive. It's an unconscionable thing sometimes when you think about it. In a nation that has so much, the greatest nation on the face of the earth, and there's someone who is going a day, a night, a week without nutritious food. You think about how much food you throw away. I myself personally, it really gets to it. I just wasted that. That could have been a meal, a very important meal for an elderly person, for a child. And that's why we have such a passion for the Together We Can food drive. Zach and his folks put in a lot of work. It's not just we kind of glean over it once a year, twice a year maybe. They do this every day. It's their mission. And Zach, thank you for taking time out again this morning to be with us. And we appreciate what all you and your whole team does over there.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Zach, can you describe to me how we can have a food desert in the United States, particularly bring that down to the local front? What is a food desert?
Yeah, simply a food desert is an area that has limited access to affordable and nutritious food. And key word there is nutritious as well. But we've got spots right here, even in Amarillo,
right,
in parts of town where there's no access to food. And then as you move into some of our rural communities, you see that as well. And transportation, even getting out, especially for seniors, is a real problem. And if you don't have access to it close, then sometimes you're stuck without something to eat. It's really that simple. It's kind of hard to comprehend, like you said, at the same time. But it exists here and throughout the Panhandle, all over.
Just doing some of the, talking to people about their nutrition programs and things like that. Excuse me. I've come across people that I suspected were food insecure, but I also wasn't sure how to approach the subject to get them help. Because let's face it, pride comes into play a lot. It could be you're talking to a big grown man or a little bitty elderly lady, and they're all very hesitant to ask for help. And so I wasn't sure how to go about helping these people. Do you have any tips on how can we get help to these people without making them feel, less or belittled or embarrassed is mainly what I think they look at.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Very, very good point. We see that every day, for folks that either walk in here or other places. And, one of the common things is, the tone of the voice kind of decreases, the volume decreases, and it's hard to make eye contact. And then we've had some folks who come in and just flat out started to weep because they've never had to do that before. And so the best thing to do is not just say, hey, we're going to give you help, but we understand and we're here for you. We're here to help you. We don't think of you by any means any less. We actually think of you more for coming to ask for help and to take that first step. So we have. And I know this was mentioned earlier in the week, but we have a network of partners that do a great job, depending on where they are. A lot of here in Amarillo, and of course we have some in almost every county here in the Texas Panhandle, based on what they need, who's in their household, what other things they're looking for. Is food is one of them. It may be clothing on the other side, or they may need some long-term assistance with some assistance programs that we can help them get on if they qualify, and connecting them to the right resources. But it's always been a passion of mine. So as long as I've been here, this is my 18th year, to operate a food assistance center here at the food bank, and I'm happy to say that that is on the horizon for us. We have a new building that we kind of remodeled for some office space. It's clearing space in our older building in our warehouse that we're able to do that, so we can help really kind of connect the two things that you mentioned, Rhonda, you mentioned, and Chuck, that you mentioned, closing a food desert gap. Right. And increasing nutritional food, but also doing it in a way where dignity is established and maintained for folks